Welcome to Radio Free QuickBooks TV. I want to thank everyone for clicking on the link from the Intuit Academy site. Hope you're enjoying these episodes. I believe we're on about episode 5 now. We're broadcasting live from Studio 20C on Building 3 at the Intuit headquarters in Plano, Texas. We actually drove in this morning and took the monorail to the building. That's where we're doing it for now. Plenty of studios here. I'll be your host, Woody Adams. I've been with Intuit for about 8 years. I'm a QuickBooks product specialist, dealing with QuickBooks and QuickBooks-related issues. And for those of you guys who listen to Radio Free QuickBooks on a weekly basis, thanks for listening to the show. It's been going on 2 years, but of course couldn't do it without Stacy Kildal, Don Brolin, co-hosts and co-founders. Stacy?
Yeah.
Going today?
I'm fabulous, as always. How are you?
Doing good. No,
I'm
doing
a little
great.
wired. I just want to mention that. I've had 2 cups of coffee. I normally only have 1, so I'm just flying right now.
Perfect. No, that's good for this segment. We're going to be talking about Tax Online. We'll bring Jorge in a sec. He's a longtime veteran of the show. Don, how are you doing?
Yeah, I haven't had any coffee, which is, so that'll just who I am. If you can imagine if I had coffee, how much of a psycho I'd be. But certainly, as we've been doing every episode, I want to tell you who I'm not. Today, I am not the third baseman from a League of Their Own, and if you have seen that movie, I am not. I'm definitely not her, and that's a quiz for those of you who have not seen that episode. I am also not her. Okay,
no, I get that one. That resonates with me.
Yeah, it's a good
one.
That. One more!
Right.
Really?
No crying in baseball.
Right. No crying. There's no crying. Yeah,
exactly.
Tom Hanks was awesome in that movie. But so for those people who have not seen the movie, I'd recommend it.
It's a good one.
Excellent. Right? Actually, Don's already been meeting with some people here at for APD and Intuit. She's busy. They tug her ear and see how things are going in the real world.
We talked sales tax today. It was awesome.
Really?
Oh yeah, sales tax workflow, super fun. Compliance work. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about compliance work today.
Right, and we are, and it's a great segue. Today is Tax Online, which you're a Pro Series user. We've talked about that before for a long time, and you are going to be going to ITO. But before you weigh in, we want to bring on Jorge Olavarrieta, and that's with a Rhode Island accent. Jorge, welcome back to the show, and it's always good to have you on. How you doing today?
Oh, doing great. Thanks for having me as always.
We love having you.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a veteran.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
Veteran to the show.
Yeah, you've been on 2 times on the radio program in the last couple of years, and then first TV.
That's right. I've had that face made for radio, so thanks for bringing me on TV.
Well, your makeup looks good, though.
Yeah, I appreciate
you look good.
Appreciate
it.
And always, when I'm sitting or standing next to Jorge, I look underdressed, so thank you for not holding that against me. Appreciate that. So for the people who don't know you, so we have about 10 or 12,000 people who do know who you are, but for the rest that might not be listening to the radio show, can you just give your story? You've been with Intuit for a long time, coming from, I think, the Lacerte side, but just kind of give you a rundown, and then we'll go into SaaS and ITO, Tax Online, things like that.
Sure. So Jorge Olavarrieta, as Woody totally butchered. You did quite well. So I've been with Intuit for about 17 years in various roles.
Yeah.
Probably for about 10 years or 7 years or so, I managed the Lacerte tax product, and for the last 3 years, really been tasked with bringing tax to the cloud for our accountants. So,
nice.
Hence the genesis of Intuit Tax Online.
Genesis, one
of my favorite bands ever.
Plan Life Down. One of my favorite albums.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
And before, because I want Dawn to weigh in too on why she's converting from Pro Series to ITO or Tax Online, but can you give just the benefits of SaaS, your typical spiel for that, and why we're going there, our vision?
Sure. I think especially this year, there's been a lot of mention of the cloud out in many of the shows. The the Midwest Accounting Show, the Sleater Conference, all the different conferences that many of our customers attend. Essentially, the benefits of SaaS are pretty simple. The benefits of the cloud, right? Anytime, anywhere, no updates, no worries about backup. The fact that you can work and your staff can work remotely from anywhere without any software install. All you need is really a high-speed internet connection and a computer, and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Amen.
Absolutely.
And Dawn, so you've been using ProSeries for a while, Tax Online, this will be your first year, you're gonna have like 55 returns.
That's right.
Because you get 5 free with the Pro Advisor.
Free.
Five
Pre-purchase of 50.
Yeah.
Pre-purchase, discounted pricing, hello, I'm on it.
Right.
So what's
Right.
your kind of evolution there, while you're going to ITO?
Well, first of all, I like to be mobile,
Yeah.
and I want to be on the go. I don't want to be tied to the ball and chain, which is now the desktop computer. Okay, so that's the new ball and chain, and we know what the other one was, right? So now you have two, I guess. So I don't want to be tied down, and I want the integration. I know we talked a little bit about how the integration of the tax piece with the QBO, and how are we gonna make all of that kind of work together
Right.
and be on the go. A client calls me up, I'm on the road, maybe I'm here in Texas, and they say, hey, listen, I want to talk about that, you know, let's talk about the Schedule C, you know, I'm looking at the advertising line, I'm not really sure, you know, last year, what was it last year, and what is it this year, and, okay, well, you know what, all right, I've got your tax return on, in the cloud, whatever, I can go
Right.
ahead and pull it down, it's gonna take me longer, because I gotta get on the computer, and so on.
Right.
With the ITO, being able to use that app to just pull up that PDF right on your iPhone, I mean, that's a killer, right? So I can talk tax. It's about talking tax.
After you hit a
to your
double
clients.
playing softball.
Right.
At least
If
a
you are
double.
playing third base, you could do that.
I don't play third base, I play the outfield.
Right, okay.
Right, but
Fair enough.
that's why I'm not
Right.
a girl from a league of their own, because I play the
I
outfield.
know, and thank you for that,
Yeah.
the
Another
correction,
good
that's
band.
important,
I like
the
them.
role.
Kind of a
Agreed.
Outfield.
two-hit
Good.
wonder. Yeah, go
Yeah.
deep.
So,
Play
Jorge,
deep, right? Go
give
deep
the
on
audience
that.
the overview of the features for Intuit Tax Online, kind of what it does, and even if you can talk more deeply on the mobile app Don was referring to.
No, I love Dawn bringing in the mobile
Oh, yeah,
aspect because, you know, as we all know, why you can access your tax software from any computer with high-speed internet access, who's carrying their computer around with them everywhere they go. You know, the mobile device, whether it's your iPad, which I happen to carry around pretty much everywhere I go, and probably not going to get an iPad mini, but regardless, on your mobile phone as well, right? Your mobile phone never leaves your side, so I think as Dawn mentioned, having the simple ability to view all of your clients, view their status, quickly access their tax return, even make notes within the mobile
Right.
device as you're on the go, that ultimately then are synced with the software.
Right.
A great benefit. We've seen quite a few of our customers really, they kind of love that because they can get an instant notification as an example of, hey, I just had an e-file return that was rejected, and they can take immediate action without going to a computer, without logging
Right.
Yes.
in.
That's pretty cool.
It's hot.
So a lot of great
It is hot.
aspects on the mobile side. As far as the capabilities of the product, you know, we're obviously a tax product, so
Right.
we want to make sure that we have the most comprehensive content that we can. Today, we support individual returns, partnerships, corp, S corp,
Okay.
fiduciary, all of the states, and e-filing for those modules. You know,
Awesome.
we're looking to invest and create some more tax content as for the other modules that are less commonly used, but we
Right,
think are also
right.
important for the accountant.
And it has the Lacerte tax calc engine too, right? So superior there.
That is correct. So one of the things when we started our journey, we said, hey, if this is going to be the future, if this is where we see our accountants going, and we really need to create that software, we want to start with our top end. And for us, the top end is the Lacerte tax engine that has the most capabilities and most comprehensive. It handles the most complex scenarios.
That makes perfect sense to me. Let's dive in and take if you can do, Jorge, please, a quick demo of your
Yeah.
tax online there.
Certainly. So I think when you first log into the application, the first thing you'll see is a client-centric view. It's a list
Right.
of all of your clients. Slight difference between most tax software where one return equals one file in a list of many potentially tax returns. For us, we have a client-centric view. So when you select a client, you may have multiple tax returns
Right.
associated with that client. You may have an amended, you may have a projection, you may even have prior year returns, and our product displays all of those tax returns within a single interface.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, no longer going to have to go to a prior year product. If you want to access your prior year return, you can pull it up right
Oh,
there.
sweet.
For the
That's
current
That's
information.
nice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And really the basic workflow of the application, it's pretty simple. Once you access the tax return, we've broken down the application into something that we believe mirrors the mental model and the workflow of an accountant. There's an enter data workspace where the information is categorized and it follows the flow of the form that you're doing. For example, the 1040. In our 1040 product, as an example, you have income, deductions, credits, taxes.
Nice.
If you're familiar with the 1040, that's exactly how it's laid out.
Yeah.
When you select a category, such as income, the application will then display all of the available options, wages, interest, dividends, so on
Right.
and so forth. So a very simple layout for data entry. Once you enter your data, there's a check results workspace.
Nice.
Check results workspace simply provides you a summary of your tax return. It also provides the ability for you to view the actual forms directly in the product. All of this can be done, by the way, without paying a dime.
Oh, really?
We try to make a great and a very simple trial experience for customers to get accustomed with the product, so you can actually view the forms themselves. You can see the output that we generate,
Right.
and then you can get, confident as to whether or not this is going to meet your needs. And then the
Okay,
other
that
main
makes sense.
component here is really our diagnostics. Our
Yeah.
diagnostics essentially alert you to things that you may have missed or overlooked in the tax return. When you select a diagnostic, instead of jumping you back to the area where you go fix that diagnostics, as many tax products do, we simply bring up the input to you.
Right.
And then you make the correction, and then you can continue on in the review process. And last but not least, we have a file return workspace. Within that workspace, you can e-file your return, you can view the PDF, you can e-file your payment return, your extension, your amended returns for next year as well.
Oh, really?
So that's something that
That's kind of
that
cool.
we
I
are
didn't know it
expanding
did.
on.
Okay.
Absolutely. But that, in a nutshell, is the application. Very simple, client-centric view, enter
Yeah.
data, review data, check your results, and file your return is essentially the layout of the application. And, we find that people, when they come in, sight unseen, they find it extremely easy to use. It's not cluttered with a bunch of different things all over the
Right.
screen. It's just very simple. It aligns to the workflow.
So nice workflow.
Absolutely.
Don, essentially the forms and everything you need to do your tax returns?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I wanted Jorge to expand on a little bit for myself and for others is the transition, because I think that's
Yeah.
probably the key part of
Sure.
ITO, right? So someone's been using Pro Series for a long time, someone's been using Lacert for a long time.
Right.
What is your best suggestion towards that transition? And how to, because it is very different. It's a different look, it's a different feel. And so how do practitioners get that started? Now, we know that there's a great offer in the Pro Advisor program, so that would be a smart move.
Right.
Right, get in the Pro Advisor program for many other reasons we've talked about in another show.
Yes.
But to talk about that, the transition.
So lots of different elements in the transition, and different accountants will approach it different ways. But I can tell you what some of the things that we've done to make it simpler for our customers to transition to our application, as well as I'll give you some examples of how some of our customers have begun the transition. There's really a couple of models to that. So first of all, for us, we've made the trial experience extremely easy. We want you to get in. You don't have to pay anything. You can fully experience the product, what it does. That lets the customer, our accountants, get confident
Nice.
that this is the right application for
Right.
them, or whether it isn't. We fully understand that it may not be right for everyone
Sure.
at this
Sure.
point. Typically customers approach it in a couple of different ways. There's people that decide, hey, there's great cost benefit
Right.
associated
Yeah.
with the business
Yeah.
tax return side, so I am going to do some of my tax returns in Intuit Tax Online while I continue to use my
Right.
product.
Right.
Exactly.
Others will take the opposite approach and say, I'm going to do my individual returns on Intuit Tax Online. And
Right.
then, of course, there's the third case, which we're seeing more and more of these days, which is people just go all in.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's what you're doing, right?
all in, yeah.
And part
Brolin's
of-
going
All
all
in.
in.
100%.
I love it. Well,
Yeah.
she's all in all the time.
Yeah.
So you know what? Yeah,
Heck
always
yeah,
all
she
in.
is.
That's what the
Yeah.
dice are for.
Yeah.
It's about the all in. So one of the other questions, and something that the people should know, is also that they can send previous year returns and they can be converted into ITO to get started. And there's some workflow around that.
Oh, that's a good-
So for
That's
instance,
really
good.
so
Practice.
my individuals be uploading, sending over, transitioning 2011 returns. Data's already ready. They're not going to have to start from scratch only. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we support data conversion for most of the major players out there. Very simple
Nice.
process. Once you get into our application, there's a menu called Account. When you go to Account, you can go to Convert Data, and then there's a walkthrough process to how you upload your data to our software.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's
Typically,
nice.
within 24 hours, we'll have your files back up there in the cloud, and you'll be able to just log in and you'll see them there. So as Dawn
Nice.
mentioned, obviously data conversion is a critical component where we don't make you re-enter all of the information,
Right.
so you don't have to start from scratch.
Right.
Very
That's
cool.
great.
I think that's actually a key
Yeah.
component to this process. And
Sure.
so that's one of the things, and we're in such great timing before tax season
Exactly.
starts, right? So
Yeah.
it's not great to probably start that on March, 31st,
Right.
April 14th.
Right.
Probably
Well,
not,
yeah,
not
yeah.
the great timing.
No.
But now,
Yeah.
planning ahead,
Sure.
now's a great time to get started, get a handful of your files up there. Pro Advisor program offers 5 free
Nice.
That's correct.
returns.
Yeah,
so
which is
pick
awesome.
5 clients.
Right,
Pick
First
exactly.
time that Pro Advisor
And just
programs
try it
ever
out.
had
Tax.
Tax.
First
Exactly.
time.
Huge.
Yeah.
And
So,
go ahead.
I was going to say, in the time we have left, the pricing model. You had mentioned that you don't when you go to print or e-file, that's when you pay, so you can see. But like Dawn has she bought
I
a
did
bundle of
prepay,
50.
because it was
So what-
cheaper.
yeah, what's the
Man,
model
I'm
there?
all about that.
So I think that the model, our pricing model, really ties well with the discussion on transition. So one of the things that we wanted to do, once again, is make it extremely simple for people to see whether or not the application fit their needs.
Right.
There's no license fee up front, so there's no commitment. You can come in, you can fully experience the application. We've seen some customers that say, okay, well, I want to take it all the way to the end. So I want to e-file a return. Well, go ahead, e-file a return. You can e-file one return for $29.95.
Right.
Right.
No price for e-file, no price for additional states, it's just a flat fee. And we really offer two pricing models.
Right.
It's transactional, so you can pay $29.95 for individual returns,
Nice.
or $39.95 for business, any type of business return that
Okay.
we support. Or you can purchase bundles
Nice.
to get discounted rates.
Like what Don did, yeah.
You know, our discounted rate, I believe as of now, is around at $8.99 per return, $8.99 for
Wow.
1040 returns if you buy a pack of 100.
Very cool. Well, Jorge, we really appreciate you coming on Radio Free QuickBooks TV there to talk ITO again. Welcome back. And
Yeah.
we're going to go ahead and do something. We hold the shot for 3, 2, 1. Stacy, Don?
Yeah.
Ready? Hold the shot.
Thanks for watching this episode of RFQ-TV. For more episodes of RFQ-TV, you can check out intuitacademy.com. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, and if you'd like to continue the discussions, you can find us on LinkedIn.